Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Inside the Music and 5 and 5. Today, my special guest is Trevor Nokes, and he's all the way from jolly old England in Cambridgeshire, right? Is that how you
That's
pronounce
it.
it?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Hi, Andy. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you.
No
Uh,
problem.
I know this is, you know, can be maybe a little overwhelming doing an
Yeah,
interview.
yeah.
But I assure you, it's all fun. We're going to laugh and have a good time while we're doing it. So,
Cool.
and now the first thing I want to get out of the way, where can people find you at on, if you have any media, for people to look?
Yeah, I've got a website, www.trevernokesmusic.co.uk. They can find me on there. It's got a little bit about me, portfolio, and all that sort of stuff. Yes.
Okay. And then
That's-
I will have it listed below inside the
Yep.
description. And there should be a little pop-up guy somewhere in here that'll also tell you guys where to go as well, too.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, speaking of where you're at, I did look it up because I wasn't quite certain where it was.
Middle
And
of nowhere.
yeah, I have a good friend of mine who lives in Lincolnshire.
Lincolnshire. Yeah, just a
Yeah,
few miles north of me. Yeah.
right, right. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
we're such in a little globe that we don't realize how much, we are closer together than what you
Yeah.
think. So,
Yeah. Well, people who watch this will judge by my accent. I'm not from Cambridgeshire. I'm originally from just south of Birmingham.
oh,
Um,
so it's kind of like the Americans, we have the Southern draws and then we have the
Yeah, we have a lot of
California.
regional. Yeah, we have a lot of
Right,
regional accents.
right.
So I've
And
moved from Birmingham, went to London, then moved out to London up to here.
and it's funny because when I go, to my family in Illinois, or even when we went to Tennessee this last year, people say, "Oh, you're from California." And well, how do you know that? Well, because you have a California accent. Well, I don't think
Uh,
we do, but apparently we do. So,
uh,
anyways, all right. Well, I have here the 5 and 5
frightening
questions.
questions.
Now, Trevor has no idea what these questions are. I haven't given him a list of them, so he's going to take his time and answer them as best he can, and we'll have some fun here. So, first
Feel like I need
question.
the spotlight.
Question number one:
Okay.
do you think your location is an advantage or disadvantage when it comes to getting clients?
Um, Disadvantage with regards to being able to get local bands as clients because where I am, we're in the middle of nowhere. So I think the nearest big city is Cambridge, which is half-hour drive away. Um, but also I find it can be a slight advantage because a lot of clients now are looking for remote people. They don't necessarily have to go and sit in a recording studio. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, really.
Right. And I kind of find that where I'm located here too in Riverside, it's it's right outside of LA, maybe an hour and a half to, dead center LA.
Yep.
But the advantage is that there's not a whole lot of studios out here in this area either. Um, so there's that advantage. And that's why I kind of asked that question because
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
those people maybe looking to get into, doing the mixing or recording, it might be helpful for them to know that even though you're in a small community, it might be a somewhat a disadvantage, but it can also work for your advantage too, as
Yeah.
long as you
Well,
push it. So,
yeah. The clients I've been working with the most at the moment lives in Utah.
is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah.
now, now, are you do you have anything on like Fiverr or anything, or how did they find you here in the
He's a
States?
member of the academy.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Okay.
so he reached out and I think he just put up a track. He said, "Does anybody fancy helping out?" And I went, "Yeah." Go for it.
That's awesome. And that's, we'll mention this right now. That's why I like Produce Like a Pro. And that's how you and I know one another.
Yep.
And so far, everyone that I've interviewed has some, connection to Produce Like a Pro. So for all of you out there that haven't checked out Produce Like a Pro, please do, because it is a wonderful community. It's not the only community available, but it is a great one. For collaborations or for whatever, education, especially for education.
Yeah.
And then on the subject, what DAW do you use? Speaking of
Cubase.
Oh, so you are a Cubaser like me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on Pro 13.
And Pro 13, as I am. Now, I can't remember. Are you with Chris Selim too as well? Are you in his?
Chris Selim and also Dom Segalis as well.
Okay, so see, all these are great educators. If anybody out there looking for education, we highly recommend those three people, along with Greg Undo as well.
Yes,
too.
Greg. Yeah. He's
the Yoda of Cubase.
What he doesn't know about it, it's not worth knowing.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
So, but okay, well,
yeah, I've been using that since. Well, I've got my original copy of VST still sat up on the shelf from '96. So,
yeah, you're way before me.
I've put myself through college to learn it. So,
well, great. Yeah. Myself, it's just all been YouTube. Whatever I found available at the time. That's so far anyway. Have you taken any master classes?
Yes, one recently within the academy. You on about?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Rockfield one.
Oh, wonderful. And
that was 4 weeks ago.
And what did you learn from it? What did you take away from it?
It was my first experience of witnessing tracking live. So it was understanding the communication between the engineer, the producer, and the band. And it's just really enlightening and such a different world to where I've come from, where the communications really open door policy. And so Warren was doing the, producing. He's very clear with his advice to the band. The band took everything on board and then gave them their clear feedback, and then the engineer just dovetailed straight into it. It was seamless the way it worked. It was brilliant.
I have yet to take one. I'm hoping Monday I'll have something a little closer in LA so I can, dive into
when you can, highly recommend doing it.
Okay, great.
It's also a fantastic place to meet people like yourself.
Right.
I've met 11 other academy members, all exchanging ideas, details, because what you don't see on the masterclass videos is all the conversations afterwards.
Yeah.
Over dinner and over breakfast and all that sort of stuff.
I like going to NAM because I get to actually, handshake with people.
That's it. Yeah.
And that to me is, way better than, even this is nice, but, to actually talk to somebody in person is always, much more.
If I could have done this and nipped on a plane and flown over to you, I'd have done that. But
yeah, you could have came here in my small little, humble little studio here.
I've got one of those here.
So, but let's go on to question 2.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you balance your work life with your family life and studio time?
Recently, it's become a lot easier. Up until January last year, I was working permanently in London every day. So trying to come back to do studio work was difficult because it's a 3-hour commute each way. So I only had very, very small amounts of time, and mostly only at the weekends to do studio work. That also affects into family life as well, was not being around enough for me lad. So a couple of years ago, I had an episode at work, had to take myself out of the work environment, get myself mentally straight, and then left the company I was working for. And then the company I now work for, they kindly enough said, right, you can work from home 95% of your time. if we need you to come in for a meeting, come in for a meeting, but just work from home. So now I've got a routine of I start work at 8 in the morning, I finish at 5 at night. My commute's about 15 feet, which is fantastic. And I get to see my son and my wife more. And it also gives me a chance then, if I want to get up early in the morning, I can do a couple of hours of mixing. And then when I finish work, I don't know if you can see my laptop there, that gets closed down. I've got a laptop just here. This is my work laptop. That gets closed down, turn the system on, and I'm mixing.
Oh man, and we were talking before we started the thing here. I'm in the same situation. Uh, I had a job. I was in an accident, and I talked about this with other people too. So yeah, I'm doing this full time now. And see how things go, and what you just described is the same thing as I do. I get to do my mixing and this type of work, and then when the wife when she comes back from work, same thing. Close this down because this is my office now, and then I get to spend more time with the kids and my wife. So it for me, being the old-fashioned guy I am, taking this role as not having to actually go to a physical place to work, was a little strange for me to get used to. And but here we are.
But you find you're less stressed.
Yes.
My wife's already turned around to me and said, "You're a changed person to what you were like."
Yeah.
Because working so many hours, you always bring it. You haven't a choice. You bring it home with you.
Yeah, exactly. And being as the guys we are, we need some place to escape, from that, So yes, less stress is much better. And I'm sure it's probably the same for the ladies out there too. I'm sure they need their time and space as well as
Absolutely.
we do too. So
everybody does.
Yes. Yes. And so your answer that you gave was pretty much spot on to my answer too as well.
What industry were you in before, Andy?
I worked for make a long story short as possible. I had my own pool. Being here in California, nice sunny weather, warm
swimming pools.
Swimming pools. There's lots of swimming pools. So I was doing that for 20 some years. I actually moved into a high school with the school district here. I started doing their high school swimming pools, maintaining them, and then the accident, unfortunately took me away from all that. So here I am.
That's good.
So, it's interesting how we always have to reinvent ourselves as, for whatever reason. So
life deals things, and we just have to
roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches and find another route.
Exactly right. So with that said, question number 3, how do you think your life's journey has affected your music journey? Because you had mentioned in your little questionnaire that you filled out in regards to like you had to take a break from music.
That was just purely as we briefly spoke about earlier, that's life got in the way. I met my future wife. I had an opportunity in an industry that was, because it was about, I was 16 when I left school and went into construction. So when you're 16, it's all about the money. You don't think about what your desires are. It's like, I need to earn some money. I need to do this. I need to do that. And that's where it got into. I had an opportunity, which they always say don't live with regrets, but I do have a regret in one that I had an opportunity to get into a well-known studio, so we say. I visited it, and
I
could have grown legs, but it's sliding doors. I missed an opportunity, and then a few years later, I then went, no, I want to learn about music. Hence the reason why I've got Cubase VST from back in '96 reminding me is I put myself through 3 years of night school whilst doing a full-time job to
Right.
learn about the music. Then other things came along. I then moved down to London because of the construction industry. And then, cut a long story short, because that can be a very long story, got to 2019, I think it was December 2019, and I came across an Academy video just by chance. And just something went click.
Yep.
I want some of that.
Yep.
And that was it. So I'll blame Warren.
Yeah, blame Warren. Thanks, Warren.
Yeah, thanks, Warren. I've thanked him anyway.
And like we were talking beforehand, how I was saying how there's so many of us that mirror the same journey.
Yeah.
As more I do this, and I recognize it, the stories line up really similar. Mine's similar to yours. And if you watch the videos, before this one, you'll recognize that same story is in regards to a lot of them. And that's kind of why I like this platform that I'm doing, is because it's not just talking about mixing, and it's giving other avenues in regards to how we got to our journey, or to this place we're in right now. So, and that's part of music. Life in itself is part of music, Well,
I've used it as a way to mentally straighten myself out, because I'll use it as therapy.
Yeah,
I love mixing for other people. I love mixing other people's music. I love listening to the feedback and all the whole ethics of it. And it's just a therapy to just get you out of the rat race, which is what you consider your day-to-day job.
Right. And I agree. And I wouldn't change anything, that's got me to this point. No. So there's a reason why we're here.
If you did change anything, it wouldn't have got you to this point.
Exactly right. Yeah. You're right. That's very
sliding
true.
doors again.
Yeah, exactly. So, but question 4 here. When you get a new song to mix, can you walk us through your workflow? What's the first step you take when you receive something from a client?
If it's a set of multi-tracks, I'll just load them into a blank session, and just listen to them completely raw. And then while I'm listening to it, then I'll start building my template around it. That just allows me to take in the song. I'll always ask for references off them as well. Just getting insight for the music. I'd like the people to tell me about their music. Then after I've set up my template, then I'll go into gain staging, do that as a separate project, save that out. Then I'll go into EQing, so that then I'll start getting into mixing, balancing, etc. Balancing more so than the gain staging side of it, and then go into the final process. And if I do master it, then I'll master it.
Yeah. So for all those out there that are just getting into this this side of music, what he just said right there is so important. You have to listen and listen and listen and listen to the music, over and over again. To me, with that process of listening over and over again, it so envelops myself into the music that I forget the time.
Yep. Yeah.
How long you're actually doing that, it's just strange. And then I'll have incidents where my kids will walk in here and scare the living crap out of me because I'm so focused on things. And what you said about the gain staging, you know, the gain staging to me is, if you get that right, it will make the rest of your work, EQs, everything else, so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, did you do the challenge with Chris where
Yes. Yes, where you couldn't touch anything apart from gain stage.
yeah,
Yeah.
and man, I tell
Brilliant.
you, yeah, it was brilliant, and it was so much fun to listen to everyone's, how people hear things differently.
Yeah.
Because none of them sounded the same.
Nope.
And you would think that would not be the case, but everybody hears, where they place things,
Yep.
um, and then the level of volumes, and it was just and of course those get adjusted as you move along too. But just to hear those original, gain stages was something else.
Yeah. The first thing I always do is really low volume,
Yes.
just in case, just to pick anything that pops out a little bit too much.
Yeah, and Robbie and I discussed that, the low volume thing. To me, you can hear, like, even when you start adding compression, it's great to go back in and listen to things at a lower level,
Yeah.
especially in headphones,
Absolutely. Yeah.
because you can really hear the things that stick out. And for all those out there, if you listen to compression at a lower level, especially when you're starting to learn it, you can actually hear the pumping, if it's pumping or not pumping. You can actually hear compression way easier at a lower level than when it's turned up loud.
Same
So
with distortion as well.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I can't, recommend lower listening enough, because
No.
that to me is a big thing, a big,
Yeah.
big, huge thing. So take that with you, kids.
Also, do a lot of communicating with the clients as well,
Yeah.
with regards to what I'm hearing, to then make sure, is that what they want to hear, or
Right.
if they're aware of it. Just to, you can get frequencies that are popping out. They might say, "Oh yeah, I want to keep that in.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the feel of that."
Right.
It's the
Right.
communication again, like I said earlier on, from the
Right.
master classes. I've
Right.
learned such a lot on communication.
Do you do any Zoom meetings with them at all, or do you
I
just?
haven't had a chance to at the moment because the time differences, but I
Right.
plan to
Right.
do that in the future to make sure I do
Yeah.
cover every base.
Yeah. Yeah. It is nicer rather, sitting there emailing all back and forth all the
Yeah.
time. Just to have a conversation, get it out of the way.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, question number 5. Do you think working in your current line of work, or what you were doing, will help you run your studio full time?
Previously, I was a senior project manager. So, with
Oh.
regards to managing projects, not a problem at all.
Mhm.
Um, the thing I've got to back away from, which I've been told by somebody else, is I'm in the construction industry,
Mhm.
which is very aggressive and very contractual. So the way I'm communicating with people, I'm now changing. I still have to do that side in my day job that I've got still, but to a lesser degree. So hopefully I can be more suited to dealing with creatives, artists, songwriters, singers.
Right.
You certainly can't talk to songwriters and singers and bands the way I have to deal with people in my day-to-day job. It just wouldn't work.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So it's helped me in the fact that I can deal with projects, managing time, all that sort of stuff. But with regards to working with clients, as in singers, songwriters, and creatives, I'll have to take a different tact to what I'm used to.
Right.
But it still allows me, when I get into contract with an artist, I still understand all the contractual sides and the legal sides of things, because
Yeah.
you have to know that.
Speaking of contracts, this is a subject I haven't even discussed here yet. So, do you have something that you a standard form, or what do
Yeah,
you?
I've got a template that I then adjust to after the initial communications with the client. Then I'll adjust it to suit.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, I've got a basic contract.
Now, do you do any like, say for instance, you get a song from a customer and you hear something that should be maybe another guitar should be added or something else. Have you gone into that realm of anything like that before?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. So you're
With the
strictly sticking with the mixing, not production side.
not producing, no. I'm not a trained musician, so there is no one on this planet I'm going to tell a musician what he should or shouldn't do. If I can hear something sounds wrong, then
Sure.
I'll mention it in the communications that we have.
Right.
But ultimately it's the artist's song. I don't want them to put out rubbish, but also
Right.
I want them to put out what they want to hear as well.
Yeah, I've actually being a guitar player, and I'm not a trained music, zero theory. I know the notes on the guitar. Couldn't tell you what key you're in or nothing, but unless I go to a website that says this is the key you're in. So, but what I have done in the past is if I get a guitar that's a part that, maybe a little mishit on a note or something that's not quite in the right key to my ear, then what I'll do, I'll make sure I'll go in there and I'll overdub. Won't tell the customer anything. I just do it.
He gets what he gets.
Yeah, he gets what he gets. Well, and so far I haven't had anybody say, "Hey, that sounds different." So it actually, fits the song better. Yeah. So probably shouldn't do that, but I do it, and no harm, no foul. Yeah.
If the client doesn't know, then
no, so they might now that I'm saying it.
They need to know their songs a bit better.
There you go. I improved it without even telling you.
That's it.
So, but
yeah, writer's credit for that.
Yeah. But the reason I was asking is because when you do venture, if you do ever venture in that category, there's plenty of platforms you can go on to, and Fiverr is one of them. You can find a guitar player, or even in the academy, you can say, "Hey, guys, I got a track. I want to add, a little solo here or something." Well, with the contracts, you can do what they call a pay for play.
Yep.
So, and it's whatever the going rate of that musician wants. You pay them a fee, and then there's nothing else added to the credits or nothing. Okay. So they're just there to play the what you asked them to play. You paid them, and that's it.
Yep.
Or you can go down the other route where you want credit, and I'll give you a small percentage because that's the other route you can go. Yeah. For what do they call that? Royalties.
Royalties.
So, but 99.9% of the time, in my experience, they want the money up front.
Yeah.
So which to me I like that better.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, it's done. It's done then, isn't it?
Done then. Yeah, right. Exactly right. So
yeah, nobody's approached me about it yet, so I'll bear that in mind for. Fingers crossed they do. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
And then, we touched base on this already a little bit, but again, my line of work was like yours, not so much construction, but on that side of the industry, to where I had to, bill people and, keep contracts. I did have contracts with the pool industry for monthly service. So yeah, that to me is a tremendous help. And again, that's where life down this street helped you to get to this street.
Yeah.
And helps out. So
you learn such a lot.
Yeah, you do.
In your lifetime to get to our age.
Right.
which helps with all facets of life.
It really does. It does. And like I was telling Robbie, these white hairs,
I'll
it's
shave
not.
mine off so you can't see them.
Those aren't all wisdom hairs.
Yeah,
A lot of it's stress.
yeah.
But
99% of mine is stress.
so, but it's what makes us who we are. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
for sure.
And it's an ongoing thing. It's forever evolving.
Right. That's for sure.
You never know what's around the next corner.
Nope, that you don't.
And that's
so.
This
So,
time last year, I would never have thought I'd have gone to a masterclass.
right.
But the door was presented to me. And it's like, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I said to the wife, I said, I know it's a bit of money, but I'm going for it. It's something I feel I need to do.
Exactly.
And now the floodgates have opened for that one.
It's all good. You'll make it up down the road somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. It's choices. You make choices and you go for it.
Right. Exactly right.
Yeah. The bottom line is your family and yourself are the most important things.
Exactly right. I agree with that.
If you can provide for your family and you can still keep mentally strong and clear, well, that's it. Life sorted.
I agree. So important.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to our next round of questions, which I call rapid fire questions. Now,
oh God,
you can answer them as short as you want, or if you want to expand on your answers, that's your choice. I won't say, "Hey, stop."
Time's up.
Time's up. So, question number 1:
Yep.
If you use outboard gear, what's your favorite? And if you don't own any outboard gear, do you plan on getting any?
SSL Plus.
2 questions.
SSL Bus Plus.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
SSL Buzz Plus.
Oh,
just sat by my side here.
It's on your side here.
Yep.
Now, explain to everybody what that does.
Is a compressor and dynamic EQ unit all in one box.
Nice.
And it goes, majority of the time, it'll go on my mix bus right at the end. After I've done a mix, then I'll feed that in at the end just to
give it that analog feel.
Give it that feel. Put a bit of hair on it.
Well, that's a great piece of. If you're gonna have a piece of equipment, that's probably one of the best ones to get.
I've fallen for the complete SSL system.
Is that right?
I've got the UF8, the UF1, the UC1.
That's right. I remember you posting it now. I remember this. I remember that.
I've got them all just sat in front of me.
That's so awesome, man. I got my little Behringer, what's it called? X Touch 1, which I use sparingly. I'm still the old mouse. I can't get off the mouse.
That's where I had to get off.
No,
I find myself I don't look at the screen anymore.
Yeah. So you
got it. I've gone through the gain stage and I'm off then.
Well, then, so that is similar to playing an instrument. When you get so used to it, you don't no longer have to look at your fingers. So you got to the point where you can just,
just go for it and just listen.
Yeah, just listen.
In these things to work properly.
Right. Well, you got some great gear there. That's awesome. One day I hope
a lot in this.
One day I hope to own SSL something. So,
worth it.
Yep, I would agree with that. I would agree. Okay, question 2.
Yeah.
What's your favorite can't live without plugin for mixing?
At the moment, I think it's got to be the Infinity bass by Stephen Slate.
Is that right?
Is a bass subharmonic unit.
Oh, so it helps bring out the tonal of the bass.
So I always put it on a parallel bus and just bring it in just a little bit and it just
like as you said earlier,
together.
a little more hair on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It does very similar to, well, no, it doesn't do very similar to the R bass, because the R bass is a compressor, but
Right.
it gives me a similar feel.
Right.
It just brings up that subharmonics a little bit and just allows me to give a thicker bass that I feel that whatever song needs.
I'll have to
And
check that one out. I haven't.
always run it alongside with the obviously being, as I said, an SSL person.
Mm-hmm.
The SSL channel strip goes straight onto every channel immediately. That's what I use.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a song at the moment which is just purely SSL. I'm not using anything else.
Nothing else. That's it. That's
No.
it, huh? Well, I mean, if you don't need to, if the song doesn't need anything else, then like it's always been said, there's no rules. It's whatever
No,
works, and as long as you get the end product to what the customer likes,
that's it. Yep.
that's the final goal of this whole thing. So,
Yep.
um, I just watched a video the other day in regards to uh, a guy. I think he pronounced his name Greasley or something like that. Anyway, he was talking about how he gets mixes from customers, um, and he'll have lots of you know plugins on it, so he'll remove what they have, and then present it back to them, and they'll ask him, "Well, how'd you get that to come so to life?" And he goes, "I removed all your crap you had on there." So, there's something to be said. Sometimes less is more. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, so if that's all it takes, then that's all it takes.
That's
So,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
so question 3, what's your favorite platform to maintain your schedule with clients? Or do you use,
Um,
you know, right?
to be
Mine,
honest,
yeah,
yeah.
right now
Go on.
mine's Google, Google Calendar.
Yeah, I'll use Outlook, to be honest. Which
What was that? I'm sorry, what?
Outlook,
Okay. Okay.
Outlook, and then some of the recent clients, it's Messenger. They've
Yeah.
been messaging me. That just seems easy, and it's on all my devices, so I can get the message wherever I am.
Yeah, that's a great app. I like that app a lot.
Yeah,
And you and I, we communicated through Messenger as well too.
yeah,
And it's nice because, worldwide, so you don't,
yeah.
worry about it.
That's it.
So, you
I
know,
just find that one easy for it's quick responses as well. If I'm at work during the day,
you're right.
I can still respond to clients
Yeah,
because I will still take the time to respond to them. It's not the case of, oh yeah,
right.
between 8 and 5 I won't respond. I do respond all the time.
Right. Yeah. One that we use a lot is called Telegraph.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I
that's
don't think
that's
we have
one
that over
that's one Sergio and myself use to send music back and forth. Not the mixed music, but like the pre stuff. We'll
here. Yep.
send it just to for us to communicate back and forth with. And that's a good one, for
Yeah,
that
I've been
type of thing.
using I've used Google Drive for doing the music side,
Hmm.
and then if it's a final, then that'll be emailed.
Okay. And then what do you use for transporting back and forth? Do you use like WeTransfer or
Yeah, yeah,
yeah?
we transfer. Yeah,
I love WeTransfer. That is such an easy
nice.
platform.
Yeah, and it's free.
Yeah, and you got so many gigabytes before it says, oh no,
Yep,
you got to pay for it.
yep,
I think I've only had to pay for it once to send over a video that I did.
yep.
Uh, so $15 I think it cost me to do that. Nothing. And
Works. It works.
yeah, what I like about it more than I'm trying to think what's the name of that other one that people use a lot. Gosh darn it, I'm drawing a blank on it. Anyway, it's just a drag and drop and send,
Yep.
to where the other one was drag and yeah, well, maybe it's improved since then. I don't know, but it was just a lot extra buttons to push
Yeah,
before you could
yeah,
send it. So I love WeTransfer. So
yeah.
WeTransfer,
Attach.
if you're watching this video, there you go.
Yeah, give him some,
So
give him some royalties.
yeah, exactly. So, all right, question 4. Favorite all-purpose microphone? Do you do, I don't know, I'm not certain if you do any recording of yourself
I
or.
don't do any recording. Well, obviously
Okay.
I'm speaking on a microphone now, which is a Lewitt 240. So
Oh, okay. Well, that
that's,
works. That's an
yeah,
all-around good microphone.
there you go. That one then.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's the only one I own. So that's the one that'll do for me.
Well, myself, I have yet to purchase a Lewitt. I haven't done it yet, but I will. I will get one
Yeah.
eventually someday down the road.
Yeah, the build quality is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like a
Yes.
tank.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. The sound quality is really good too, as well,
Yeah.
from my
As
understanding.
long as it comes across okay.
Right. No, it's
Cool.
coming across great.
Yeah.
You sound nice and clean, nice and clear. So you're good.
Yeah.
Well, question 5. Now, see,
Yeah.
that was a nice little short answer, right? Rapid.
Yeah.
You couldn't expand on it any further than that one microphone.
Because it's the only one that's there.
So, question 5. Favorite headphones?
Focal clear MGs.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them.
I have Focal as my monitors.
Yeah.
So, thinking that I would try out their headphones. And I didn't get those ones. I got way less expensive. Man, I couldn't stand them. Just bad. No, maybe it was just because it wasn't something I was used to, or I think they were called professionals or something like that. They it the frequencies wiped out a bunch of area that you're used to hearing.
Okay.
And even with Sound ID on them, it would. Oh, I sent them back. But from what I understand, the ones you have, and I have had a chance to listen to them at NAMM through those are excellent headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really clear.
Yeah, yeah, and you can pick up details, nice details. And I believe those are the same ones that his name's Colt.
Colt Caparoon, yeah.
Yeah, Caparoon. I think he uses the same ones.
Yeah, he's got some, yeah.
Yeah. So
I was after some more because I had a set of closed backs before. I think they were KRK ones, and they were atrocious. They were really bad.
Well, I've gone through a few sets of AKGs. Not a fan, unfortunately. Those were the 712 Pro. I think that's what they were called. Just the high end on them was just too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
And then Warren got me into the blue,
yeah,
which they're actually great. They're not a bad set of headphones. I don't think they are anyway. And then when you put them with the Sound ID, they clear up all those other spots that need to be cleared up. But I went to the, Bear Dynamics.
Yeah.
And these I love.
Yeah.
So
it's like you said, we all hear differently.
Yep.
We touched on it earlier. We all hear differently. So
yep. And
I think that's what I think I've seen it on the Sweetwater. I've got a wall of headphones, and you can go to each one to try and pick them out. So that's why you have that.
Yep. And it is weird how like we said, all of us hear things differently,
Yeah.
And you have to find something that suits you and what you're looking for.
Yeah, I had to invest in a really good quality pair because the room I'm in is tiny. It's literally 2.3 by 2.3 by 2.4. So it's probably the worst acoustically shaped room you could get, knocking on a cube. So I do have a set of monitors in here, but they're just purely for referencing on.
Right.
After I've done a mix, I'll sit back and then put them on and say, okay, is it playing? And I'll switch a sub in and out. But I do have a set of monitors coming soon, which are, again, another step up.
Right. But with that said, I've heard of other engineers mixing an entire thing just through their computer speakers.
Wow.
You know, so I think the more you get used to hearing things in your room, or, you know, regardless if you have it treated, you know,
Yeah.
uh, the more you listen, the more you listen, the more you listen over and over and over again, especially the quality reference and, you know, reference tracks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you'll understand your room more and more. With you know, like that bass must slap back and forth a lot inside that
Yeah. I've
small
got
room. You know, doesn't have time to travel.
no. I've got a problem at 68 hertz and 107 hertz. That's where
So,
my two issues are within the room.
right.
So
Well,
I'm going through renditions of bass traps that I'm designing and building, and just try them out, and that doesn't work. Try it again. It's all fun.
yeah. See, and you're in the line of construction, so that
It's
must,
easy.
you know, it's easy for you.
Yeah. But I'm
Um,
designing a studio for in the garden, which I'm
mhm.
hopefully I'll have the plans done later this year,
Oh,
and then I
awesome.
can build next year and into the year after. So that's the transition to get the studio out of the house into the garden and
Well,
running as a business.
can I ask you to take some videos and you know, of the progress as you're going
Oh yeah,
along
yeah,
doing
yeah,
that? That'd
yeah,
be so
yeah,
great to
yeah, yeah.
see.
I'll do it from the drawing stage through.
Yeah,
I'll do that
that'd be
anyway because I
yeah.
just love that sort of thing where you can see a complete build sequence.
Okay, and then maybe when you're all done, we can do another thing to have,
You can come over.
yeah, there you go. Shoot, yeah. I I could come visit you, then I go see my friend in Lincolnshire too as well,
That's it.
you know.
It's only just up the road.
You know, speaking of that, my friend, he was in the music as well too, but life, as we talked about here, got in the way, and he's now uh, um, he gives lectures in regards to space,
Right.
astronomy,
Wow.
and man, I'm so proud of him. I mean, that's just, you know, he's the smartest person I know now, I should say.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know,
That's good.
so yeah, his name's Ian Hall, and yeah, he actually, you know, fills out venues of people to come listen to him lecture,
Oh,
and
brilliant.
you know, talk about the universe, man, and shoot, I mean, that's something else to go from one avenue to another and be successful on that at the level he is.
Clearly, you
Yeah.
just went for it.
Yeah, and again, it's all about reinventing yourself. You know, maybe
Yeah.
that's what we'll
Yeah.
call this one here is reinvention.
Reinvention. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but man,
Ah,
I really enjoyed our time together today.
this has been really, really good fun, Andy.
Yeah,
Really good fun.
you know, and hopefully maybe we can have you on. I can have you on again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, if anything you want to talk about in regards to your new build on your
Yeah.
studio, if you had something there you want to share, even just like, you know, like a little 10-minute clip or something like that,
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah. We'll do.
I'd
We'll
be
do.
more than happy to have you back. Great
No problem at
conversation.
all. It's been brilliant, Andy. Been brilliant.
Now,
Thank you very much for asking me.
you're welcome. Now, everybody, going down in the description so you can find where you can get Trevor's. You go to his website and all that stuff, and become a client.
Yep.
Become a
Please.
client.
I can help you.
So,
That's brilliant.
with that said, Trevor, y'all take care.
You
Adios.
too.
Bye.